I'm James Grady, and I'm the editor of Out Voices Nashville. And thank you guys for joining me.
Of course. Thanks for having us.
Yes, yeah.
So first things first, why don't you guys tell me a little bit about your band and how you guys got together?
Yeah, so we're Seasons. We are a pop group. We're really trying to bring back kind of that like 90s classic girl group sound, but also adding like kind of more modern techno, electronic, some Latin inspired beats. We got together at the end of 2019.
Okay.
We joke and say that we were put together in a lab, but like we kind of were. We all auditioned, like really crazy process, and we like met each other, and then we got in the group and immediately moved in together. They're quarantining, so I'm at my mom's house. But yeah, it's been a pretty crazy ride because almost immediately when we were putting out our first song, the pandemic happened, and
Right.
so we were locked up for a year. But that
Yeah.
really gives us a little time to like work on our music and work on our sound and get to know each other. And now we are doing our first festival in Nashville.
Right. So
Woo-hoo!
before we address that one, what was that year like? A little bit. Did you guys work on like writing music together? Did you just sort of like work on getting the mesh together, and were you able to perform any?
No, we weren't able to perform, but we did write a lot of music. It was really interesting. We were on a lot of Zooms writing music.
Yeah.
Before the pandemic had started, we had a good go in like studios. So we had written probably like 5 to 10 songs
Oh,
before
wow.
the pandemic. And then, the pandemic hit, and we were like, okay, now we're being tested on our skills because everything was online. Producers were like showing us beats online. It was
Yeah.
really intense, is
Hmm.
a good word, I would say. And then we were kind of all split up for about a month because we each went to our families because we had no idea what was going to come of all of this. But yeah, Zoom writing was interesting. We unfortunately didn't get to perform at all before the pandemic, except for our first music video for Tequila with
Right.
Lime. I guess that was kind of like a performance. It was our first thing that we'd ever done that was like for us, and it was a whole day shoot, which is really cool. That happened in the last day of January of 2020, and then yeah, March came and
Right.
changed our plans a little bit.
So as things have started to open up, have you had a chance to perform yet, or are these upcoming shows sort of your first gigs out?
We've done like a couple private shows,
Okay.
just within regulations and everything. But this is going to be our first like really, our first opportunity to like step out and like do a whole full set with dance
Yeah.
numbers and choreo and outfits, and it's going to be really really exciting for us.
So excited. And also, I'm from Indiana, so I used to vacation and, we would go to Nashville for all of our like family stuff.
Right.
So I'm so excited to be going to Nashville. It's like our first real show where we're getting to like go full out. I think it's going to be a really fun environment for all of us. And I don't think any of the other girls have ever been. So
Okay.
it's cool. It's a little flip on. We just went to New York together like a month or so ago, and I was the only one that had never been. So now like the roles have reversed.
And you guys should have a pretty friendly audience warmed up by the festival, which is blended, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So a
Ho-
lot of cocktails will be flowing.
yeah,
yeah.
hopefully their wine is treating them nicely.
So you've got Nashville in August, and then what are some of the other upcoming shows that you guys have?
We're gonna have our first LA show in September, which is gonna be
Yes.
really exciting because we are LA based, and like I grew up here. When Summer also grew up here. It's an opportunity to really like pack a house, with familiar
Yeah.
faces. And then
Yes.
after that, we're doing Blended Fest San Diego, and then after that, we're gonna be doing Art Basel Miami for our swimwear line.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So, what music do you have out? I know that you've just recently released "Build a Boy," which I know our listeners being LGBT, a lot of us wish that we could do that. Um, what other music do you have out there that people can kind of go see on YouTube or other places?
Yeah, so our first song, Tequila with Lime, came out in July of last year. So it's just over a year old. And that was the first song we wrote together ever. And like that one really just like we were all just hanging out talking about clubbing and how dating is stressful and it just like came out. And then we cut that and immediately we're like, this is the first song that's going to come out. We have another song, a single Faster. That's our second one. That's like more EDM, more dancey. And then was Behave. Behave is actually like really special to me and Winter as well because that one, I don't know if you haven't heard it, the whole gist is I never learned how to behave. And especially, I mean, I'm from LA, so I never really like felt that I had to act or be a certain way with regard to my sexuality. But
Right.
in general, like everyone is always telling you how to behave, who you're supposed to date, how you're supposed to dress. And so this was really kind of like, a coming out song for us. And just really like sticking it to the man, being like, this is who we are, we're not going to be any different. And if you don't like that, like, that's kind of your problem. And then Build a Boy.
Yes.
Is the most recent one.
So some of you guys identify as members of the LGBT community?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Whoop, whoop, us too. Yes, Winter and Autumn, we identify in the LGBTQ plus community.
Cool. I know you guys have a lot of songs written. Does that come out in some of the music that we'll hear from you guys?
Oh, yeah.
I
Here and there.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. Autumn.
No, I was just saying, like, I definitely think so, just because everything that we write, like, we are so conversational. We don't really write anything in our songs that we wouldn't just, like, say to each other or say to ourselves. And so, yeah, I mean, we just talk about our lives, and our lives include dating men and women and everybody. So, we're going to talk about it and we're going to have stuff to say. We're not.
We each. Honestly, Autumn has a song that I love. I can't give too much away. She wrote it by herself, maybe with some other co-writers, but it's so good and it's so gay and I love it. And I'm pushing for it to be put out, but it might be a little too out there because it's not that it's just a gay song. It's a little woo, but maybe seasons 2.0.
Well, all right. So for our Nashville viewers, what would you say to them to get them to come out to your show next weekend?
For me, I would just say like we are gonna have so much fun. We bring so much energy, and we just want everybody to have an incredible time, just like being themselves and just having fun and living your best life. And that is really what I think our performance brings, is just so much fun between the four of us. So if you're ready for some dance moves, some harmonies, and some funny tidbits in between, I think you should definitely come check out Seasons at Blended Fest.
Nice. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed Nashville, and I hope that as many of our viewers as possible can get out to see the show and enjoy some cocktails at Blended. And we look forward to hearing some of that very gay music in the future.
I can't wait. You'll be the first person we send it to.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.